All right, thank you, Mary Lou. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I know everyone showed up to learn about what's going on with 32 to 64 bits, so I'll keep myself brief and we can get right to the meat of this. So let's go through these first couple slides. Okay, again, my name is Joe Bong. I'm Vice President at White Light. I've been here the last couple of years. I've known White Light and the team here over 20 years. We have Chitali, who's going to drive this discussion today, and Sudhanshu, who's on here as well, driving from the White Light side. Agenda for today, a quick little tidbit on White Light, who we are, what we're about, the benefits of the tool releases to 925. Why are we going to 64-bit? What's driving, people to go from 32 to 64-bit? Some of the challenges that come with that. And then at the end, what next steps are if you want to follow up and hear more. And then we'll follow up with the questions at the end that come through during this presentation. So White Light, we're a 21-year J.D. Edwards company. Corporate headquarters are in Chicago and Milwaukee. We've got staff 50 plus across the U.S. as well as offshore in Chennai and Bangalore. We are a J.D. Edwards company. Since inception, we focused on J.D. Edwards, and today in 2021, we still do 90% of the work we do is focused in J.D. Edwards. I won't read through this, but that's all the areas that we cover and some. We're process automation. Half of our people come from process background and learn J.D. Edwards after the fact. Taking advantage of a lot of the RPA that's going on out there, whether it's orchestrated within J.D. Edwards, we've got formal partnerships with Automation Anywhere, UiPath, and Kofax as well. Working with customers on doing workshops, identifying areas of opportunity, scoping those out, and helping them develop. And then, like everyone else, doing work within the cloud. About 20% of our customers are already in the cloud, 20% are going, and the other ones have questions about why, what are the benefits, what are the costs, what do I get out of that, and we work with customers on that. So next. Couple key differentiators, again, 21 years in J.D. Edwards, and again, we're holding true to that. We're focused on that. We're not changing gears on that in the next 1, 3, or 5 years. That's the core skills we bring to the table. We are process automation experts. We've worked with actually 200 plus J.D. Edwards customers since inception. A lot of the projects have switched over to fixed fee and not to exceeds. Customers don't want the surprises at the end of these things anymore with, a last bill for overrun or project timelines exceeding scope. So we tighten that up front and offer fixed fee and not to exceeds. There's no magic wand or automation tools for a lot of the J.D. Edwards work that's out there, whether it be upgrades and things like that. But because we've done 50 of those things and have been in this space a long time, we think we can speed up time to delivery and implementation and reduce costs by about 20%. Again, onshore and offshore resources, a little late to the dance on offshore, but that group is 20 people already. We expect that to continue to rapidly grow. And then blended rates, onshore, offshore, or offshore, whatever you're looking for. We're very flexible on that stuff. So we'll jump right into the presentation with Chitali. She's been actually driving these efforts for us the last 3 to 6 months. We've got a few of these under our belt already and a few more of them coming up. So we do have some hands-on experience. So Chitali, take it over.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining. Today, we are going to talk about the enhancement that comes with Tools Release 9.2 Update 5. We will also talk about why we will upgrade to 64-bit and briefly discuss what are the technical challenges that comes with 64-bit upgrade. So let's begin. Before we go into details, let's talk about what is 64-bit, right? 1 bit is a single character in binary. It can represent only 2 values, 0 and 1. 2-bit can express up to 4 values. With 3 bits, we can express up to 8 values. So we can see the more bit we are adding, the value we can express is growing exponentially. In the context of a processor, number of bits generally refers to the amount of memory it can address. A 32-bit processor can address approximately 4 gigabytes of memory, whereas 64-bit processor can handle approximately 16 billion gigabytes of memory. That's a huge technical uplift, and we will talk about it more regarding this today. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, let's focus on what enhancements are there with tools release 9.2 update 5. Please note that these enhancements are for both 32-bit and 64-bit versions. There are a couple of key drivers of this release. Number one, this is going to be the last tools release to support 32-bit processing, which is one of the biggest reasons why we need to upgrade to 64-bit now. Number two, we no longer need to install the local database while installing the FAT client. This has greatly reduced the time, effort, and resources during FAT client installation and maintenance. Then we have improved user experience. We will discuss this topic in detail a little later today. Then we have OMW management web-based. So both OMW management and package build deployment process can be done from Enterprise One web interface. Web version of OMW can now support the management of development objects like applications, UBEs. Developers can transfer objects from a web client. CNC admins can assemble, build, and deploy package from web client. This enhancement create opportunities for automation. The basic development work will still require FAT client. However, we can significantly reduce the number of FAT client we need in future. Then we have improved troubleshooting for kernel issues. What it tells, this is an extremely important point for a stable system. We already have some monitoring in place in Server Manager. However, this is a huge improvement. If any kernel failure happens, it will capture the log along with the problem call stack and send the notification. This will help to fix the problem quickly or even address a failure before it can cause user impact. Then we have security enhancement. One of the security enhancement we should mention here is these tools release support for long and complex database password. So the enhancement with tools release 9.2 update 5 can be divided in 5 sections: digital transformation, user experience, system automation, security, and open platforms. Some of these we have briefly mentioned in previous slide. In our today's session, we will talk about few major benefits of digital transformation and user experience. Digital transformation. Let's talk about digital transformation first. So the enhancements are like the assertion framework enables the orchestration designer to specify the values that are expected to be produced by an orchestration. The values can be a certain range or even match a specific numeric value. If the orchestration produces a value outside that range, the details of the failed assertion are displayed for further investigation. Next, we have enhanced configuration between enterprise server and AIS server. This feature provides more freedom as far as configuration is concerned. We can now have only one enterprise server for all of your environment. However, can have specific AIS server for each of them. Then we have allow variable in REST file upload. These enhancements enables the designer to use variables in the definition of the connector. For example, the name of a file might be represented by a variable, enabling the orchestration to dynamically determine the file to upload, thereby expanding the flexibility of this feature. Then we have configurable AIS session initialization. What it means is this enhancement enables the system admin to configure user sessions to avoid initializing an AIS session if the user is not using features like UX1 components, Enterprise One search, and form extensions. That's conserving the system resources. Users who utilize these features will, however, require both Enterprise One HTML server session and AI server session. Then we have retrieval of large data sets. This enhancement provides performance optimization for orchestrator to be able to retrieve very large data sets, possibly thousands of rows from Enterprise One tables, and pass the results in the orchestration output. Then we have user experience enhancements. Let's talk about that. So using form extension UDO, developers now can add hidden business view columns to a form header and grid. Form design aid is no longer needed for this work. Developer can simply go to the application, click on the form extension tab, and search the column with the keyword hidden, then add it to the grid. This feature significantly reduces the time, effort, and cost to give end user a streamlined user experience. One thing to add here is you can create a form extension only if your administrator has enabled the form extension feature in your security workbench application. Then we have exact match search. What it tells you that it gives the user capability to retrieve search results that are an exact match to the keyword. Doesn't matter if there is a space in between, we can now search for keywords like raid, space car, or New York, etc. User can export the search result to a .csv file for the further analysis. Ability to specify query and personal form for related action. This means now if the designer wants to retrieve the results from only 3 columns from the address book record table, let's say, we can do that. It doesn't have to be the entire set of columns for any given search. The search will create a temporary personal form and show the results to you. Then we have improved help. The application level help option is available. Also, JD Edwards now provide direct access to www.learnjde.com, the JD Edwards resource library from the user drop-down menu in the Enterprise One menu bar. All these enhancements that we are talking about are mainly beneficial for the developers or functional team members. So the biggest question is, why 64-bit upgrade? Let's see that. One of the main reasons why we should go for 64-bit upgrade is the performance. As we talked before, it's a huge technological uplift. User will see performance improvement for batch application, interactive application. 64-bit processing significantly enhances the capacity to upload larger datasets. We have seen in our in-house system and for other customers, there is an overall improvement in total average interactive response time in the 64-bit version, overall improvement in UB runtime, significant decrease in enterprise server CPU usage, decrease in average C business function response time, and significant increase in enterprise server memory consumption when moving from 32-bit to the 64-bit version. All supported hardware operating system are 64-bit. Third-party vendor of JD required components like database driver, Java are releasing only 64-bit and plan only limited support for 32-bit version in future. This is another biggest point why we need to upgrade to 64-bit. Future-proof your JDE. This upgrade enables JD Edwards Enterprise One to deliver future product innovation and support newer version of technology stack. And then we also do not have to install Java Oracle 32-bit client while if we upgrade to 64-bit. So these are biggest point why we should upgrade to 64-bit now. So this slide has JD Edwards Enterprise One product roadmap. And now we can see the 64-bit upgrade in this roadmap. 2018, with tools release 9.2.3, Oracle first introduced 64-bit processing for enterprise server and development client. 2019, next year, with tools release 9.2.4, deployment client 64-bit processing was introduced. And last year, 2020, April 4th, Oracle announces tools release 9.2 update 5, which will be the last tools release for 32-bit processing. Now, other components like HTML, AIS, BSSV, they're already available in 64-bit processing. So our hardware is 64-bit. Operating system is 64-bit. So far, we were running 32-bit application. If we upgrade to 64-bit, we'll not have to worry about 32-bit compatibility mode. This will again contribute to the factor performance improvement that we are talking about today. And let's see what all benefits we can have if we move to 64-bit for AS400 IBM System Ion Power System. The main three benefits of AS400 system are performance, stability, and dependability. AS400 architecture is often used for ERP and other mission-critical tasks, particularly in industries that require extreme reliability, such as manufacturing. Now, we may think if we have tackled the performance issue with AS400 system, why upgrade to 64-bit JDE? The JDE has different components. The AS400 can act as a very efficient enterprise and database server. However, we will limit ourselves if we do not upgrade the system to 64-bit processing. Development client, JAS instances, deployment server, and other third-party application will significantly contribute to the overall performance of the system if we are still with 32-bit processing. AS400 system uses IBM JDK. As of now, both 32-bit and 64-bit processing are available for IBM JDK. However, many companies are limiting their support for 32-bit processing in future or planning to do so in near future. This will impact our future upgrades opportunities if we do not make this technical uplift now. Now let's talk about how third-party application will be affected by 64-bit upgrade and how to make sure the upgrade is seamless. We will only talk about few here just to give you an idea. So let's first talk about RFGen. RFGen is a smart barcode software. Once user enters the data, all the information gets directly connected to their warehouse and manufacturing unit. Extremely flexible mobile data collection solution for ERP platform. Now, of course, the latest version of RFGen do support 64-bit processing. Version 5.1.28 onwards, RFGen is compatible with 64-bit JDE. They're releasing for both 32-bit and 64-bit for now. However, as we have mentioned a few times today, we are seeing companies are limiting their support for 32-bit processing or planning to do so in near future. Then we have Loftware. Loftware offers enterprise leveling solution that seamlessly integrate with the business application to create, manage, and print mission-critical barcode labels across the supply chain. Loftware do not interact with JDE directly. It only monitors the scanned folder for the file provided by the front-end system. The Loftware should work perfectly as long as the file format remains unchanged. But again, all the latest version of the third-party application will be most likely compatible with 64-bit JDE. Most of the companies are supporting both 32-bit and 64-bit processing at the moment. However, we can see that in future, 32-bit processing support is getting limited. In order to future-proof our JDE, this technical uplift is the only way to go. And let's talk about some technical challenges of 64-bit upgrade. So while upgrading to 64-bit, we have to be very cautious because there is no rollback. So for our in-house system and many other clients, what we are doing is build a new infrastructure, install 64-bit JDE Edwards, and import the data from the older system to the new system. This can look like an expensive approach. However, there are some hardware constraints that comes with 64-bit upgrade. Many companies running older version of operating system. will require new hardware operating system for this upgrade work. Hence, setting up a new infrastructure and migrating data from older system to the newer system may not be any additional work. It may very well be the actual work that we have to do this upgrade work. So we talked about some of the hardware constraints, and these are some details about that. And we can see that this is high time to move to 64-bit upgrade for future-proof our JD and for a better performance. This is the end of our presentation. The floor is now open for question and answer. Please let us know if you have any question.
Yeah, Shaitali and Sudhanshu, there were several that came in. The first one is, how long does it take for a tools release upgrade to 64-bit?
Mostly it will be taking around 3 months with complete retrofit activities and with your testing. So you need to upgrade first, do the retrofit activity, complete case of testing, and then going live. So approximately it will go around 3 months.
3 months, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the second one. Can we upgrade directly from 9.1 at 32-bit to 9.2 at 64-bit?
Yes, we can. No problem with that.
Great, I like those answers. Okay, here's the third one. During tools release upgrade, if one environment, let's say your development environment, is upgraded to 64-bit, or on the other hand, other environments are not upgraded, can we still do an ESU for the environment where the ESU are not upgraded yet?
Yes, so mostly as your planner environment is upgraded to 64-bit, in that case, unless and until you go with multi-foundation, you won't be in a position to apply those ESUs. So if your planner is on 64-bit and you want to apply a 32-bit ESU on a platform which is not upgraded yet, so you can't do that one.
Okay. Okay, and then here's one final one. Do we need to upgrade all servers, Java, JDK plus JRE to 64-bit?
Yes, as a part of 64-bit process, for 64-bit bitness, you need to upgrade everything to 64-bit Java, JDK, JRE in order to achieve that functionalities. Because even Java 32-bit also be not supported in future.
Okay.
With this even releases with 64-bit, there would be compatibility issues.
Okay, thank you, Sudhanshu. If there's no other questions, I'm going to turn it over to Joe, who's going to wrap it up for us. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Short and sweet. So hopefully that gave you a little bit more insight into your journey to 32 to 64-bit. And at the end of the day, if you're going to go to newer tools release and things like that, whether you do it yourself, do it with us or with somebody else, you're going to need to go that direction. We think we have a pretty good model, both onshore and offshore, to expedite that process. And again, we have a few of these under our belt, so we've seen some of the hurdles that are out there already. If there's any interest at all, just to hear more about it or have us kind of take a snapshot of your environment and give you some ideas of what that would take, please feel free to reach out to me. It's joe.bong@whitelight Group, or you can contact me on LinkedIn or anywhere like that. But that's about it today. So hopefully everybody got a little bit more insight than you had earlier, and this was a good use of your time. So that's all I have, Mary Lou.
Okay, thanks everyone. And we will have a recording available and get it out to all of our attendees, and you'll be able to share it with your team. And you'll also be able to find all of our other Lunch and Learn series on our YouTube channels. You should check it out. Thanks everybody. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.